The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Ron Chuckett. Welcome to the program for this 20th day of September 2023. And we finally get to the American League Championship Series, the only series featuring a team that played in the real Championship Series. The Seattle Mariners survived the New York Yankees thanks to a David Bell walk-off home run here in Seattle. And they get the team they probably should have played in the real-life American League Championship Series, the Oakland A's. Remember, Oakland in real life was up 2-0 before Derek Jeter, leaving his position at short, made the wonderful cutoff throw from the first baseline to change that series around, and the Yankees would go on to play the Mariners in the ALCS. Well, the Yankees won that in real life. The Mariners prevented that from happening again by walking it off with that dramatic David Bell home run in the ninth inning of Game 5 here. So if you're an Oakland A's fan, you feel this is where you should be. You won 100 games in the replay. You won 100 games in real life. So these are probably, on paper, the two best teams in baseball coming into this championship series. It certainly should not be a sweep either way. Pitching, I think, goes to Oakland. The offense, I think, goes to Seattle. And so we should have an interesting series. The Cubs and Astros are tied at 1 game apiece. They are about to start their 3-game set at Wrigley either tomorrow or Friday. And so finally, we get to this one. It's the American League Championship Series. Aaron Seeley against Mark Mulder. And no, I'm not Vin Scully, and this is not the X-Files. As Retro Sports Network presents the 2001 American League Championship Series. Tonight, from Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington, Game 1 of this ALCS, presented by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And here we go. Afternoon playoff baseball. Good morning, Bernie. Good morning, Mike from the truck. Aaron Seeley, who hasn't pitched since Game 3 of the Yankee series in New York, gets the call. He's 31 years old. Curveball at 84 and a ground ball pitcher. As we again, pitched Game 3 in New York 5 days ago. Did not pitch very well. The Mariners won the game 10-9, but there was a lot of offense in that series. Seeley couldn't make it out of the fifth. 86 pitches, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned. A homer, 2 walks, and a strikeout. And so here's how Oakland will line up for Game 1. Johnny Damon in center field will lead off. Frank Menachino gets promoted to second in the lineup. He'll play second. Jason Giambi, the near Triple Crown winner, at first will bat third. Eric Chavez at third cleans up. Miguel Tejada at short will bat fifth. Jeremy Giambi will be the DH against right-handed pitchers. He will bat sixth. Jermaine Dye in right will bat seventh. Terrence Long in left goes eighth. And Ramon Hernandez, who had a very good series against the White Sox, will bat ninth. Mark Mulder should throw about 105 pitches. Defensively for Seattle, Mark McLemore, a 6 and a 3 in left. Cameron, a 10 and a 5 in center. Ichiro, a 10 and an 8 in right. David Bell, the hero from the ALDS, is a 6 at third. Carlos Guillen, a 3 at short. Brett Boone, a 6 at second. John Olerud, a 6 at first. Dan Wilson behind the plate, a 7 and a 2, and Aaron Seeley, an 8 with a .970 fielding percentage. Damon against the White Sox, and don't forget, Oakland had to go into Chicago to win Game 5. 4 for 23 in the DS with a home run and an RBI. And so if you're ready, I'm ready. 62 degrees here in Seattle, no wind, and Damon grounds this one to the right side for a base hit to start the ALCS. That'll bring up Menachino, who went 5 for 15 in the series with a double, a run scored, and 4 walks. On paper, Jamie, I agree. This really should be a good series. Menachino, this might be 2. Guillen to Boone for 1, over to Olerud, and that is a 6-4-3 double play. The key to Seattle's success is its pitching has to be something besides Freddie Garcia, who threw the 2 good games against the Yankees. You are not going to see Freddie until this series goes to Oakland. And for Oakland, it just needs to do what it does. Just wait for the other team to make mistakes. As I said in the open, I think Oakland in real life got shortchanged, but they never recovered, and that's what happens in short series. Jason Giambi, 333 against the Chi Sox, 7 for 21, a home run, 2 RBI, and 6 runs scored. Pitch to Jason, fly ball right field, Ichiro in the corner, and he'll make the catch against the half wall, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, and no errors. Oakland doesn't leave anybody on. Half an inning in the books, no score. So here's Mark Mulder. Mulder should have pitched Game 5 against the White Sox, but Uncle Ron decided that Tim Hudson was a better option, thinking that he had pitched Game 1, which was not the case. So Mulder's going to go on really full rest. The lefty is 23, fastball at 88, and a ground ball plus pitcher. In a 4-3 loss to the White Sox in Game 1 in Chicago, Mulder went 5, 101 pitches, 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. In real life, 21-8, 229 in the third innings, and a 3.45 ERA. The lineup he'll face, well, it's Ichiro leading off. In right, Cameron in center will bat second. Edgar Martinez, the DH, goes third. John Olerud cleans up at first. Brett Boone at second will bat fifth. David Bell, who got a rousing standing ovation as he was introduced, will go sixth. Dan Wilson behind the plate batting seventh. Carlos Guillen at short goes eighth, and Mark McLemore in left will bat ninth. Seeley threw 14 pitches in his half of the first. Terrence Long, as we said, Oakland's defense for you, a 3 and a 3 in left. Johnny Damon, a 5 and a 3 in center. Jermaine Dye, an 8 and a 9 in right. Eric Chavez is a 10 at third. Miguel Tejada is a 6 at short. Frank Menachino and his band of dancing cherries is a 7 at second. Jason Giambi, a 5 at first. Ramon Hernandez, a 6 and a 3 behind the plate, and Mulder is an 8 on the mound with a .963 fielding percentage. Against the Yankees, Ichiro 7 for 21. He scored 5 times and hit .333. And he slaps this one over the mound. Tejada's going to have to hurry, and Ichiro beat it out. So an infield single. How you doing, Scotty? Mike Cameron went 4 for 20 against the Yankees. 2 homers and 5 RBI. There's a ground ball to third. Chavez gobbles it up. Menachino for 1. Giambi for 2. And it's a 5-4-3 double play. 2 out for Edgar Martinez, who just raked the Yankees. He went 10 for 19, a .526 batting average with 4 doubles, 2 homers, 5 RBI, and 7 runs scored. The only thing that Edgar didn't do was find Jack McDowell to hit off of in Game 5. Pitch to Edgar, and he draws a walk. So a 2-out walk for John Olerud. 7 for 19 against New York, 368. He had a home run and that was a grand slam for Seattle in Game 1 here against the New York Yankees. Mulder deals, and there's a slow ground ball to Giambi. Jason underhands it to Mulder, and that will retire the side. So both teams get a hit, and both teams hit into a double play. The Mariners leave on 1 after 1 in Game 1, no score. So Eric Chavez, who went 8 for 21 against Chicago, 3 doubles and 2 homers while driving in 7. So the Mariners fans and their goats are representing. There's a fly ball, right center. Cameron moving over. 1 out. Some ballparks have swimming pools. If you look out there to left center, that's the goat pen, built specifically for certain goats. And on the wall, next to the goat pen, is a countdown to the next Los Angeles Dodger playoff game. Here's Tejada, Miguel at 7 for 18 in the LDS. 3 doubles, a homer, and 7 RBI. Seeley with 1 out in the second winds, and there's a line shot to center. Cameron will make the catch, 2 out. So here's Jeremy Giambi. He went 3 for 8 against Chicago, a double, a homer, and 3 RBI. Of course, the city of Chicago can console itself that the Cubs are still alive and well. Thank you very much. The National League Championship Series. Pitch from Seeley into center field. Cameron, to the bleats of the goats, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After an inning and a half, no score. Is Mike from the truck still with us? So here's Brett Boone. Look at the right side, Ron. With Bell and Wilson to follow. Boone, 6 for 18 with an RBI in the Yankee series. He starts the LCS, popping it up to Tejada with a rainmaker on the grass, 1 out. For David Bell, who hit 4 home runs in that series, it just wasn't a walk-off. He went 7 for 19 and drove in 8. That's a pretty good thing. Mulder takes a deep breath, winds and fires, and there's a fly ball left field, long, but that's going to hook foul, and somebody from Everett made the catch, and the count is 0-2. Bell hits a ground ball to first. Giambi to the bag, and that'll do it. So Bell is retired, and that'll bring up Dan Wilson. 4 for 19 against New York. A double and 2 RBI. That's a base hit into right center. Dye will pick it up. Two out. Alvin Davis, by the way, threw out the first pitch before game 1. Here's Carlos Guillen. Carlos 4 for 20 against the Yankees. He struck out 5 times. If you're wondering about who threw out first pitches in Houston, it was Nolan Ryan in game 1 and Jose Cruz Sr. for game 2. And Dave's here just for the commercials. Pitch to Guillen. There's strike 3. So that'll do it. Mulder got him to swing and miss on a fastball after 2. Remember, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. It's the A's nothing, the Mariners nothing. So Dye, Long, and Hernandez to face Seeley here in the third. Jermaine 4 for 21, hitting 190 against Chicago. He did have a homer and drove in 2. Seeley's pitch to start the inning is a fly ball to left center. Cameron moving over, makes the great diving catch on the track for the first out. You would think after a series where the Mariners scored pretty much runs at will that you would not get a pitcher's duel in game 1, but here we are. Here's Terrence Long, 4 for 21, hit 190 against Chicago with a triple and an RBI. Seeley deals, struck him out. First for Aaron, a 1-2 changeup, swung on and missed. M's fans in full force here. Ramon Hernandez went 7 for 19 in the first round. and drove in 4. Seeley deep breath and deals. Line drive again, and Carlos will haul it in. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and Aaron Seeley, through 3, is pitching a gem after 2.5, no score. So McLemore, Ichiro, and Cameron to face Mulder here in the 3rd. Mark 3 for 19, a triple and 2 RBI in the ALDS. There's a ground ball. Tejada is in on the grass, and he'll just eat it. So the smart play, and McLemore is on. That's the 3rd hit for Seattle. Ichiro singled, infield single to start the ball game. Opening 9 for Mulder. 32 pitches, 2 innings plus. 3 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. See if they throw to first. They do. And McLemore is back. So with Ichiro at the plate, the play is hit and run. So the runner goes. Ichiro pops it up behind the plate. Hernandez to the screen, and that's a foul ball. The count goes to 2-1. McLemore is just going to try a straight steal. The throw down to Tejada, and Mark has his 2nd stolen base of the playoffs. Now, McLemore is staring at 3rd like you do a moon pie at the bakery, and we'll do it. He takes off for 3rd. The throw down to Chavez goes into center field, and the run will score. So it's a 3-2 count to Ichiro, and speed kills. Hernandez kind of saw that coming, and Chavez just couldn't do anything about it. He got there for the throw, and it sailed over his head, and Terrence Long threw it back in. So the first run of the ALCS comes on a manufactured run, a steal that worked too well. And somewhere in the bowels of Massachusetts, Dave Gardner approves of me playing small ball. Full count, nobody out. Here's Ichiro. No, they can't do that. There's nobody on, Ron. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to Mulder. Throws it to Giambi, first base side of the bag. And Mulder's hurt. I don't know if he caught his ankle, but he's done. And now it's bullpen-a-palooza for Oakland here in the 3rd inning. The good news is you wouldn't need to wait till Game 5 to get him back, because we only have single-day injuries. But it's Jim Machir who will come in. He pitched 1 game. He pitched in Game 1 against the White Sox, 31 years old. Extreme ground ball pitcher, splitter at 92. In that game, he went 2 perfect innings on 23 pitches. You never want to have a long bullpen game, although this is a longer series, just because it means that it puts so much more pressure on tomorrow's starter, which I believe will be Barry Zito. But you understand that if that happens, if you're down 5 or 6 nothing, or down a bunch, you just empty out the pen. But in a 1-run game, goodness gracious, this is not what Oakland wanted at all. Mike Cameron grounded into a double play his first time up. He sends this one into left center. Damon going back to make the catch, and that'll do it. That's 2 out. Here's Edgar Martinez. Edgar drew a walk his first time up. Machir winds and deals. Ground ball to Menachino. Diving stop by Frank behind the bag, and that will retire the side. So the Mariners get a run. They manufacture one on a hit and an error, and Oakland loses their starting pitcher because of an injury. We go to the 4th. It's Seattle 1, Oakland nothing. So Seeley, 3 innings, 40 pitches for 9 batters. The hit was erased on a double play, and he struck a batter out. Johnny Damon has a lone hit for Oakland so far. The good news, if you're an A's fan, is you only need the 1 run. Struck him out. Seeley got him to chase a 2-2 fastball. So here's Mendocino. Frank grounded into that double play. This time around, ground ball to Olerud. John to the bag. 2 out for Jason Giambi, who is 0 for 1. Seeley winds and fires. Struck him out. So a small little pump fist from Seeley. He got a chase, and that'll do it. After 3.5, it's the Mariners 1, the Athletics nothing. And so just to get you up to date on the National League Championship Series, Game 1 went to Houston 8-4. And then yesterday, Chicago outlasted Houston 7-5. Sammy Sosa, a big day at the plate, had 3 hits. So we'll either play Game 4 tomorrow night at 8:30 or Friday at noon. But you get the full 3 from Wrigley. I'm not sure. In 84, when they went, Olerud, by the way, 0 for 1. The first 2 games were at Wrigley. John draws the walk. It was San Diego where all hell broke loose. 3-1 curve, by the way, missed high and outside. Here's Brett Booney's 0 for 1. And when they went to play the Giants in 89, that series started at Wrigley as well. They played the full 3 at Candlestick, and that's where the Giants clinched. So it's the first time since the Cubbies have reached the playoff in the playoff era that they get the middle 3 of a series at home. Pitch to Boone. There's a ground ball to third. Might be 2. Chavez to Mendocino for 1. Over to Giambi for 2. So Machir doing yeoman's work. Here's Bell. He's 0 for 1. So that was a long way for me to say that the Cubs could conceivably, if they sweep all 3 at home, clinch the pennant at Wrigley. Bell hits a fly ball left field. Long will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Through 4, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's the Mariners 1, the Athletics nothing. So, what are you guys up to today? Here's Chavez. Eric is 0 for 1. Seeley deals. Fly ball, left center field. Cameron will make the catch. 1 out. There's Tejada. Miguel is 0 for 1. Ground ball. Seeley, first base side of the bag, or rubber, throws to first. 2 out. So Aaron has thrown a gem. Jeremy Giambi is 0 for 1. Ground ball to Olerud. John takes it to the bag himself, and we are halfway home. Chad Bradford's going to come in for Machir. It's Seattle 1, Oakland nothing. Well, if you joined us late, here's how he got here. Just 1 run for Seattle. It was Mark McLemore scored on a stolen base. He was stealing third. And the throw went into the outfield, and he just trotted home. That's it. This is right out of 1899. Mark Mulder, the A's starting pitcher, tripped, making a play at first base, or a throw to first base. And he only went 2 1/3. He allowed 3 hits and a run, a walk and a strikeout. Not what the A's wanted. The good news is that Machir has held the Seattle Mariners off the board. And if you're going to go with Johnny Holstaff, you're doing it right so far. Chad Bradford about to pitch in a second. Aaron Seeley has thrown a one-hitter through 5 and struck out 3. Bradford pitched 1 game against the White Sox, and that was in their 18-7 win in Game 2. He went 2/3 of an inning, 14 pitches, and a hit. He's 26 years old, fastball at 92, and a ground ball plus pitcher. So Wilson singled his first time up, and Bradford got him. Bradford was like a submarine pitcher, wasn't he? An 0-2 fastball in there at the knees, 1 out for Carlos Guillen, who struck out his first time up. Bradford winds and deals. Ground ball to third. Chavez has it. Over to Giambi. Carlos can run, but the throw beat him, and there's 2 away. So here's Mark McLemore, who's dancing around the bases, is the only run of the series so far. He singled, stole second, was trying to hit and run, and he ended up stealing the bag, and then he was in pretty good shape to steal third, and Hernandez's throw down to Eric Chavez missed everybody, and that allowed McLemore to score. 2 out here in the 5th. There's a base hit left center field. That should be extra bases. Damon grabs it, throws it into third, and that is indeed extra bases. 2 out for Ichiro, who was 1 for 2 today with a single. Only the 4th hit for the Mariners. Ground ball, Menachino has it, throws it to first, and that will retire the side. After 5 here in Game 1, an absolute pitcher's duel. It's the Mariners 1, the Athletics nothing. Dye, Long, and Hernandez to face Seeley here in the 6th. Jermaine is 0 for 1. And he walked him. Oakland hasn't had that many runners. They've only had the 1 hit, and Dye took a 3-0 curve, low and away. Here's Long. He struck out his first time up. Seeley throws to first, and Dye is back. And now Seeley will concentrate on Long. How you doing, Dave? Long base hit up the middle. Cameron will get it, and Dye will hold it second. So first and second here in the 6th with nobody out for Ramon Hernandez, who owes his team big. I think Hernandez and Lance Berkman are gunning for the Moxie GOAT of the series so far. Pitch to Hernandez. He drops one down. It looked like Seeley will pick it up, throws to Boone covering, and there's 1 out. So that was a good bunt, and I didn't expect it. So Seeley opening 18, 5 in the 3rd innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. He's thrown 71 pitches. So Dye on 3rd, Long on 2nd. 1-0 Seattle, 1 out, top the 6th. And he walked him. So Seeley snaps the ball back into his glove. 2nd walk allowed. And indeed, Jamie, that bunt took Moxie. Yes. Menachino is 0 for 2. He is grounded into a double play, and that's what Aaron Seeley would like right about now. Wilson and Seeley change the signs. Seeley deals. That is laced into center field. Cameron racing in, makes the catch. Yes, a sliding catch on the grass. Cameron with that 10 range. Anyone else, that probably would have been a single. But Cameron worked that 10 speed on the Schwinn and made the grab. 2 bigs outs. It remains 1-0. No place to put Giambi. Jason is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Seeley from the stretch. Base hit right center field. Ichiro and Cameron converge out there. Dye ties the ball game. It's Cameron with it. He's going to throw to the plate, and Long beats the throw, and it's 2-1 Oakland. The walks will get you every time. So Damon on second, Giambi on first, 2 out for Chavez, who is 0 for 2. Seeley deals. Into center, Cameron, who's already saved 1 run, will make the catch, and that'll do it. However, Oakland gets 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th here in Game 1. Oakland now leads it 2-1. So Cameron, Martinez, and Olerud to face Chad Bradford here in the 6th. Mike is 0 for 2. Ground ball to Menachino that plays him. That's an error. And Mark Guthrie is going to pull out his guitar and pitch. We got a pitching change. This game coming to you from Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington. So Guthrie is a lefty. He pitched in that Game 2 win against Chicago. Went 1/3 of an inning, allowed 2 hits, and a walk to man. He's 35 years old. Slider at 89 and a ground ball pitcher. So Cameron, they're going to wait. Yep, Martinez has slow pitch softball 500. He just went 10 for 19 against the Yankees. Guthrie goes to the plate. Fly ball left field. Long should be able to get there. He does, and Cameron retreats back. I thought they were going to throw to first. Cameron bluffs and holds. Here's Olerud. John is 0 for 1 with a walk. Now they go to first, and Cameron is back. And Cameron's going to go. Hernandez throws down to Tejada, and Cameron has a stolen base. So, speed is what Seattle has used so far. That is their 3rd of the ball game. 1 out. Olerud is 0 for 1 with a walk. Fly ball, center field. Damon moving over. Will grab it. Cameron tags. And they'll test his arm. The throw down to third is going to be close. And they don't have him. He beat it out. So Cameron on third, 2 out for Brett Boone, who was 0 for 2. He's hit into a double play. Guthrie deals. And there's a fly ball. Left field. Back goes Long, way back there, and the Mariners lead this one 3-2. A home run from Brett Boone. How do you do? And the Mariners retake the lead. Boone just sent that one soaring down the line and left, and all Terrence Long could do is turn and watch it go. And the Mariners fans in the chat and in the ballpark are rooting for that, and the Chicks did indeed. Why'd you bring some of those too, Scotty? Dig the long ball. Here's David Bell. Only the 5th hit for Oakland, or for Seattle. Ground ball to Menachino. Frank has it. Fantastic diving stop. Throws to first for the out. So that'll do it. The Mariners get 2. The error is costly. The home run scores 2. And we go to the 7th. It's Seattle 3, Oakland 2. So if Seeley can get you one more, I like the Mariners' chances here in Game 1. Miguel Tejada is 0 for 2. To second. Boone. 1 out. Here's Jeremy Giambi. Jeremy's 0 for 2 today. These two teams noontime tomorrow. Jamie Moyer for Seattle. Excuse me. Barry Zito for Oakland, it looks like. Giambi gets hit. So the tying run is on. Seeley just kind of slaps that back. An 0-1 fastball that got away from him inside. Nye has walked and scored on the Giambi hit. He's 0 for 1. Here's a ground ball, left side, base hit. So the Mariners are going to have to dig to their pen, I would think, although Long... Seeley appears to be tiring. But they'll give him Long. 1 out. Runners on first and second. 3-2. Seattle leads game 1 here in the top of the 7th. There's a ground ball to Guillen. Might be 2. Boone for 1. Brett pivots and throws to Olerud, and Seeley gets out of it. Stretch time. 3-2 Seattle. So Mike Magnanti, the workhorse for the A's in the first round, comes in. He's making his 5th appearance of the playoffs. In his 4 game, well, he pitched in game 5. Let's do that first. So he's on full rest, inning in the 3rd in their 5-2 win over the Chi Sox. 18 pitches, gave up a solo homer, and struck out 2. 6 in the 3rd overall, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 solo homers. Gave up 2 in that game 2 win over the White Sox. And then 1 in game 5. Dan Wilson is 1 for 2 today with a strikeout. Magnanti should go about an inning. And he hits Wilson. So we got some tit for tat going on now. That got him in the leg. Oakland playing for the bunt, and now there's a little bit of salt in this series. These two teams played 19 times in the regular season. In fact, Seattle really didn't put Oakland away until mid-September. And so, in the background, you can hear Neil Sedaka's Bad Blood. It should have been me, but it was you. Carlos Guillen is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. A's can't afford to lose another pitcher. Guillen strikes out. A 1-2 fastball at 78. And got him. Here is McLemore. Mark has singled, doubled, scored that crazy run in the 3rd, and stolen 2 bases. He's 2 for 2. Pitch. There's a base hit in the right center field. Damon will dig it up, and Wilson is going to go to 3rd. So 1st and 3rd for Ichiro, who is 1 for 3. Wilson on 3rd, McLemore on 1st. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Mariners leading 3-2 here in game 1. And there's a laced into center. Damon will pick it up. And they're going to see, did they get McLemore napping? No. It was just a little soft line drive that Damon cradled. Wilson knew better to go, but McLemore got a little anxious and thought that was going to drop. It did not, and he is not doubled off. Mike Cameron has reached on an error, stolen a base, scored, and grounded into a double play. He's 0 for 3. Popped up. Left side. Chavez into foul territory. And that is the 3rd out. So the Mariners leave on a couple. No runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the 8th here in Game 1. It's 3-2 Seattle. That'll do it for Aaron Seeley. It is righty, lefty, righty. It's Jeff Nelson time. Nelson struggled against the Yankees. He is 34. Throws the slider at 91 and a ground ball pitcher. In an inning and a third, he pitched in Games 2 and Games 3. He allowed 2 hits, a run that was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. The 2 walks came here in Game 2. The 2 hits came in New York in Game 3. Hernandez is 0 for 1 and sacrifice bunt. Got him. An 0-2 slider swung on and missed. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for Oakland. They've left on 3. Seattle 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they have left on 5. Damon 1 for 2. Johnny has singled, walked, and struck out. To Boone. Over to Olerud. 2 out. They're 1 out away from Sasaki. In fact, they're probably 1 base runner away from Sasaki now. Menachino is 0 for 3. Nelson winds and deals. Struck him out. So Jeff Tam will come in for the 8th for Oakland. In the top of the inning, no runs, no hits, and no errors. After 7.5, it's Seattle 3, Oakland 2. That Damon on the A's for sure. He came over from Kansas City, and he would join the Red Sox in 02 or 03. Edgar Martinez is 0 for 2 with a walk. Jeff Tam only pitched once against the White Sox. He's 30. Fastball at 90. And a ground ball pitcher. He pitched in game, I want to say, 3. A 5-1 win by Chicago. 2/3 of an inning, 21 pitches, a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. Johnny made his way around. Edgar Martinez, a homegrown Seattle talent, 0 for 2 with a walk. And he's going to reach on an error by Giambi because Jason couldn't handle it. So that's the 3rd error for Oakland. Here's Olerud. John is 0 for 2 with a walk. Swings, this might be 2. Menachino to Tejada for 1. Miguel throws to Giambi, and that is a 4-6-3 double play. Bernie believes he was traded to Oakland at the trading deadline. It must have been in 2000 because his picture's with Oakland. Yeah, he played the full year here, so it must have been in 2000. Brett Boone is 1 for 3. It was his home run in the 6th. That put the Mariners up 3-2. Tam winds and fires. Ground ball foul first base side. Somebody from Seattle gets a souvenir. 1-2 the count. Fly ball left field. That goes long, but that will be corralled in the corner. And we go to the 9th. No runs, no hits, and somehow the error does not hurt. Kazuro Sasaki coming in to slam the door. It's 3-2 Seattle. Well, Sasaki was really not used all that often. He only pitched once, and that was in New York. I believe it was Game 3 in their 10-9 win. And he gave up a home run in the process. He threw 19 pitches. So 33 years old, splitter at 89, and a fly ball plus pitcher. It's Giambi, Chavez, and Tejada. 1 to tie, 2 to go ahead. Sasaki starts the inning with a fly ball to right. Ichiro, 1 out. Yeah, fast ball game. It's only 1/4. He played the entire, 155 games, did Damon. Chavez is 0 for 3. Sasaki's pitch. Fly ball to Cameron. 2 out. Last chance saloon here for Tejada. Miguel is 0 for 3. I gotta pee really quick. Yes. So here's Tejada. And Tejada gets hit with 2 out in the 9th. Sasaki apologizes. We're going to mute here for just a second. This is Retro Sports Network. Paid the $100 for the OnlyFans thing for Retro Sports Network. You'd have been able to hear that entire argument between my wife and myself. That was great. That's Dave Gardner's body painting channel only on OnlyFans. I love you, baby. See you tonight. Back to the ball game. Tejada, a fast runner on first. 2 out here in the 9th. With Jeremy Giambi at the plate, he was 0 for 2. Throw to first, and Tejada's back. So now Sasaki will work on Jeremy Giambi. The tying run on first, the winning or potential winning run at the plate. Sasaki deals. There's a ground ball past Boone for a base hit. And Ichiro will pick it up, so it's first and second for Oakland. And F.P. Santangelo is going to pinch run. Somewhere in the ether of Staten Island, Ricky Keeler now is just having tremors with that. Here's Jermaine Dye. Jermaine is 1 for 2. He has singled, scored, and walked. So Tejada, the tying run. Santangelo, the go-ahead run. And if you must know, Bell, Wilson, and Guillen, if there is indeed a bottom of the 9th. Sasaki, 54 degrees now here in Seattle. Deep, deep breath. And Wilson says, let's have a moment. And we do. Here's the pitch. Dye, fly ball, left center field. Cameron wheels over, and Seattle wins game 1. A 48-minute stream, a 2-hour and 49 fake-minute game. And Oakland did really, really well, despite the fact they lost Mark Mulder in the 3rd inning. So Seattle, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left on 5. Oakland, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 3 errors, and they left on 5. Brett Boone in his game-winning home run in the 6th as your digital dice MVP. Aaron Seeley, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. Nelson and Sasaki, despite a rocky 9th, get the job done for the Mariners. What a job by Oakland's pen. They only gave up the 1 run, but when you need to get, goodness gracious, they needed 5 2/3 innings out of the pen, and that's a lot, regardless. So that'll do it here for Game 1. Game 2 tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Jamie Moyer for Seattle. and it will be Barry Zito for Oakland. And so until then, I'm Ron Zucker. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. So long.